Happy Thrive Thursday. I have a question for you. Do you get stuck? Do you trip out? Do you freak out when someone has the money concern? Meaning you're having a conversation about working together and then you share your rates and they say, oh, like I can't afford it. It's one of the most deflating things that you can ever hear, especially if you don't know how to deal with it. So, hey, listen, I'm Charlotte Jacobs. It's Thrive Thursday. I'm here almost every Thrive Thursday at noon Pacific, sharing tips and strategies to help you as a coach or holistic practitioner to get more clients. I'm the co-founder of Thrive Academy with my husband. We have been called the #1 source for turning coaches and holistic practitioners into six-figure transformational leaders. And our members have made hundreds of millions of dollars collectively. And today we are going to talk about dancing with concerns. What does that mean? Hey, listen, I want to talk to you about something because I will tell you that if it were up to me, you would never overcome another objection. You would never overcome another objection because that language in and of itself, it creates this consciousness around what you're doing to someone that you're probably not aligned with, right? And when we are not aligned with the consciousness that we're carrying, we're not aligned with the language of a process that we're doing, we can't do it. So I want to say that, overcoming sales objections is actually losing you clients. Instead, let's dance with concerns. Let's honor your potential clients for the humans that they are, for the valid concerns that they have for their life, and let's make sure that they feel respected and you feel self-respect when you do the process. So a few things that we need to talk about with this. The first thing is that, actually it was Tuesday, was it Wednesday? Wednesday, I offered a little template of one question that you can ask that allows you to go deeper when a potential client says they can't afford it. And you may have downloaded that question. And the primary purpose of that question was to get permission to go deeper. The question was simple. May I ask you a question about that? So you're talking with a potential client, they say they can't afford it. You say, may I ask you a question about that? And that question opens up the space. It gives them a very clear yes or no choice if they want to continue to engage in the conversation. And just the fact that they were given that choice gives them the ability to have their sovereignty. Do you get what I'm saying? So they have their sovereignty, and then they actually have a choice in the conversation. They don't feel pushed. It will have them relax and let down their guard and actually be able to engage in the conversation. Because here's a really cool thing that happens with this. When you go deeper in the dancing with concerns conversation, when you're going to dance with their money concern, for example, they have an opportunity to step in to their power, to say, yes, this is what I really want. This is what I really want. I know that those circumstances or those things that I think I can't have are out there, and they seem to be keeping me from what I want. But if you are really good at this conversation, you can hold space and you can ask these really beautiful, empowering and healing questions that allow you to get curious using our water element of curiosity, that allow you to get curious and go under the surface and discover more about what it is they really truly want. Now, before we get into that, I do want to talk about some of the mistakes that a lot of coaches and holistic practitioners make when it comes to dancing with concerns. The first mistake is that in an ideal world, we will back up and we will make sure that you are communicating what you do and you are communicating your credibility in a way that your potential clients are like, oh my gosh, I need to work with you. So if we don't yet have your client attraction code statement, that's like, hopefully we can rewind and we can get that. The other thing, we need to make sure that the value of your offer is positioned so strongly that what you are doing and how you're helping your people is so clear and so compelling for people that you never even get to the concerns conversation, because that was managed in how well positioned you, your work, and your offer are. So ideally, we back up, we have all of that in place. And yet still, you can be a rock star. You can have all of that handled, and you can still sometimes have an issue with the money conversation. And I will tell you, I find that what I'm about to talk about is like a last hurdle for so many coaches and holistic practitioners. And we've seen this with so many of our clients when they go through our process They are just rocking it. They're actually getting like 70% of the results that they can get before they really master dancing with concerns. But once they master this skill, everything changes, because there's just a level of confidence where you no longer have fear about the money conversation. So there's a lot I can say about it. I'm going to save some of it for the Client Attraction Summit. I know a lot of you are coming. We've got the next one coming up September 17th through 19th. So we do like a super deep dive into dancing with concerns at the Client Attraction Summit, including giving you the magic questions to ask. One of them being, may I ask you a question about that? But going deeper into them and really getting this in your bones so you understand how powerful it is. And you have your own transformation around your own concerns so that you can stand powerfully and have that conversation with your potential clients. But I want to talk about a couple of things before we go there. I'm going to share some slides. By the way, you know I'm usually live here on Thrive Thursday. I double booked myself. I never do that. I know I'm supposed to be here live on Thrive Thursday, but I accidentally double booked myself because I needed a self-care moment. I'm in a 5-element acupuncture treatment in this moment, getting my, doing my own personal work to take good, loving care of myself. And so I pre-recorded this for you. And because I'm doing that, I got some slides for you today. So I want to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of coaches and holistic practitioners make. And that is to either convince or collapse when the money concern shows up. To convince or collapse when the money concern shows up. Now, most coaches and holistic practitioners go to one end of the spectrum or the other when it comes to the money concern. When it shows up, they either convince or they collapse. So they try to convince, one end of the spectrum is they try to convince the potential client, yeah, the value is really there, and they start to get pushy. Likely not anyone here. It's actually a very small percentage of coaches and holistic practitioners that go to the convince end of the spectrum. Most of them go to the collapse end of the spectrum when the money concern shows up. They end the conversation, let the potential client walk away, believing the potential client's story that they are not resourceful and they really can't have what they want. So what is the remedy? By the way, I would actually love to know. Let me know, like drop in the chat. Let me know, where do you go on the spectrum? Are you like more toward collapse, more toward convince? Even though I'm not here live today, I will be checking the comments later. So I would love to hear what you have to say. All right, so let's talk about what is the remedy here. The remedy is to put your program, your package, whatever your offer is, to the side, and then use your heart selling skills to support them to find a state of being resourceful, to be grounded in themselves. And only after they come to a state of resourcefulness is it time to invite them to put their resources in the direction of the work that you do. Is that how they want to invest their resources? I have a story here about one of our past members. She does not want me using her name because at the time she met us, she was sleeping on her friend's couch. She was bussing tables and on food stamps, barely able to get by. And she came to the Client Attraction Summit, and while she was there, she decided Thrive was her home, that this was the place to be. This happens a lot for people. And she decided she wanted to invest in our programs, but she came up to us and said, I have no money. I do not know what to do. I have absolutely no money. And we had a conversation with her where we really held her as a resourceful human being. And we talked with her about what she really wanted. We talked with her about how things would be if she continued to go in the direction that she was going in. And we really asked her about like what was possible. There was, it was a good like 15-minute conversation. And she was really moved, and she was like, I'm going to find a way. Like, I believe you're my mentors. I'm going to find the resources. She got resourceful. She found a way. Coolest thing ever. It wasn't that long. It was 10 months later. She had her first $10,000 month. She had 3 $10,000 months in a row and continued to have a pretty successful business. Like, she had a $30,000 weekend at a retreat. Hey, can you imagine what would have happened if I'd been like, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're sleeping on your couch. Life really is hopeless. You should just stay bussing tables. That's what most people do when you aren't willing to have that conversation. And the thing is, like, I am a stand for you having what you want. I want you to be a stand for your potential clients having what they want. For you just like loving them enough, caring about their vision enough. Sometimes as the coach, the mentor, the guide, the healer, you have to hold their vision for what they want more strongly than they can. because they can't hold it yet. They can't see it yet. That's part of what your job is. And if you can't do that in the conversation about working together, what is their confidence level in being able to have that when you finally decide to work together and they're paying you? You got to show up this way right from the start. So there's so much possibility. Before we get into, like what to say, I want to talk about the mindset of dancing with concerns. And that is, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever decided to invest in yourself when you weren't sure where the resources were going to come from? And what happened? Well, most likely you made some kind of no matter what decision to invest in yourself. And in that no matter what decision, your energy expanded, you got yourself into a resourceful state, and you found a way to come up with the resources. So I want to invite you to consider something, and that is that people will invest when they realize that it will cost more to say no to you than it will to say yes to you. So people will invest when they realize it will cost more to say no to you than it will to say yes to you. And it's a pretty cool thing because, and by the way, this doesn't just have to be about money, for example. This could be, it's not like it's necessarily going to cost them more money. It might, but what if it's going to cost them their relationship? What if it's going to cost them their health? Those things are way more important than money when it comes down to it. Money can be a big stress, and there are bigger costs, like in the long run, about life. During the Client Attraction Summit, Jessie spends a considerable amount of time of transforming concerns or dancing with concerns, and you'll even get one of our templates on how to gracefully turn I can't afford it into a yes when it's a good match. But really, until you have a positive mindset about how to dance with concerns, the template won't work. So I want to just do a little bit of this work with you now. So one of the premises of a heart-selling conversation is that it's as if you're having a conversation with yourself. You probably are very well familiar with the idea of projection. So the first question to ask yourself is, if I were in my potential client's shoes, would I invest in my services? So we suggest that you get to the core of your being, like that you do the work to increase your confidence. So you're like, they'd be crazy not to work with me. That's the way I feel when I talk about our work. I think like 17 years almost. We've been doing this for so long. Our templates are so refined. We've seen it all. And we've got, proven system after proven system. I feel like, anybody would be crazy not to work with us. I want you to stand in that level of confidence about your work, and to keep doing your work and to make your offer, create your offer for the work that you do in such a way that you just really feel like it's a no-brainer. So I want you to believe at the core of your being, somebody would be crazy not to work with you. The second question to ask yourself, and this is a really big one, is do you honor your yeses and your nos? Do you say yes when you feel inspired? And do you say no when you're clear or you're not inspired? Or do you take the easy shortcut and say maybe? And maybe isn't bad. Are you saying maybe a lot? Maybe isn't bad. It's just a way of saying no without taking responsibility for the power of your decision. Maybes attract more maybes. If you say maybe a lot, you will likely find you have nothing to say to people who say maybe to you. So there's a saying that commitment attracts commitment. When you have the courage to honor your own yeses, you will inspire that courage in your potential clients, and you cannot fake this. You have to walk the talk yourself. So I really want to invite you to, use the two most powerful words in the dictionary over and over again, no and yes, right? And when you really are clear about your no's and you step into your yeses and you make those no matter what decisions in your life, I find the universe starts to organize itself and support your decision. So I actually invite you to put your hand on your heart and do this with me right now and say, I am resourceful. I am clear about my no, and I step into my yes. And as a resourceful person, I find the resources when I've got a yes. And from this place, I know that my potential clients are also resourceful, and so it is. So I invite you to take it on as a morning ritual to declare your resourcefulness. Hey, if you like this video, I want to just do me a favor and and give it a like, give me some reactions, drop me some gifts. Let me know that this was good for you. I know a lot of times people are watching, but sometimes you think it doesn't matter, but your voice really matters. I want to hear from you. And if you have friends that you think might be a good match for this group, invite them to join you. I know I'm going to see a lot of you at the upcoming Client Attraction Summit we've got coming up September 17th through 19th online. We are still online here at Thrive Academy. If you would like to have a conversation about how we can support you to find, attract, and enroll your ideal clients, I'd love to see you booking 5 to 10 more times more clients than you have right now. Go ahead and drop the word summit or send me a private message saying the word summit, and we will get in touch and we'll have a conversation. All right, until next time, this is Charlotte Jacobs signing off because your people are waiting for you. Talk soon. Bye.